Welcome to the escape room. Enjoy the game.
Time to play the game. Time to play the game!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the DIU Escape Room Podcast. That's Bill over there.
And that's Dom.
And I'm Dom.
Happy
Yes.
250th.
Yes, happy 250th. And I don't care what anybody says. It's a lot of escape rooms.
Hell yeah.
That is a lot.
Yeah.
It's an expensive hobby. And I'm so glad that we paid for 90% of it.
Yeah. We've never asked anyone for anything.
No, never put it out there.
We have had some very generous people.
Yes, we have.
Who've been very generous and offered things. But we do not beg for anything.
We don't beg for rooms, unlike some people we know. And that won't get edited. Anyway.
A big shout out to OG Steph.
Yes, who really got us into this.
Noodle.
Thanks for letting us waste about $5,000 each easily over the last 3 years.
Yeah.
No, it was never a waste.
Who would have thought sitting there having lunch would lead to sitting there in Ford's Garage.
Ford's Garage
down in
Florida.
Florida.
Fort Myers, Florida. To start the... Who would have thought that, sitting there, that Steph could talk us into you getting put into a cage, me getting strapped to a wall, and her getting strapped to a toilet.
Yep.
249 rooms later.
In a room that had a bathtub with a mannequin in it full of syringes.
With a mannequin full of syringes. Yes. Yep.
And who would think that you could take 3 people, put them in that situation, and there's all blood everywhere and a bathtub full of syringes, and we look at it together and go, yeah, this is it. This is what we're going to do with our life now.
Right? All the way up to who we think really cemented our love for escape rooms.
Masterpiece
Escape at Indian Trail, North Carolina. I know we're going to screw up his name, but thanks to Ulysses. Oh, it's got to be.
I don't know. We always forget it. We always, not that we forget it, we just always mess it up.
Yeah. He's from West Virginia.
Euclides, or
you know who we're talking about if you listen.
You know who you are.
Yeah, you know who you are. They are the measuring stick for escape rooms in our eyes.
They really showed us what could be done in-house with in-house redneck engineering and with immersion and with storytelling and with theatrics, basically. Yeah. We do some of these rooms, in every single room you do, you walk in the front door, you go up to the guy there and you take care of business, and then he walks you to the room, and time starts when you walk in the room. These guys, you walk in the front door and they're in character.
Yeah.
And the next guy that comes up to you, he's in character. And they're in character the entire way. Walking to the room, they're in character. And it took us a room or two to realize, hey, wait a minute, that's not who they are. They're a character. And even after the room's done, coming up in character.
Yeah.
I mean, not breaking that window, that K-Fab window.
K-Fab window.
And, it's, all these people really kept pushing us along. And, I mean, we showed up there on a day they weren't even open.
By accident.
Accident.
Thought we booked that night, and we booked the next day, and they happened to be there, and we played their 50th game.
Hey, you got 15 minutes so that I can set the room.
Yeah.
We'll do it.
I was just about to get something to eat. Yeah, I'll run the room. Why not? Thank you. So, all we have to say to you guys is,
God bless those pagans.
And then it's people like who we chose for our 250th room.
Yeah.
that there's places like this that really keep us going. It's a family-run place, great people, everything's made in-house, and they're just nice people.
They really are. Everything pretty much made by the old man.
Yeah.
Father. Really nice guy. Brother-sister duo running the joint.
Yep. I do want to apologize to him. We were supposed to do a podcast there.
Yeah.
But we just started BSing with him and talking with him, and time got away from us. And
that was it.
Before we knew, we had to be on the road to the next place.
Yeah.
And they do have another room that they're working on, and hopefully they'll give us a rain check for the podcast, and we could do it for their next room.
Right.
Maybe in the opening of the room or whatever. They know who we are, and they know that we're down to do the opening or whatever.
Exactly. Again, we still have a few more rooms now that just opened in Rhode Island, so we're definitely going to take another road trip back out there.
Definitely.
Still waiting on some in Connecticut to open. But, again, I'm glad that this room ended up being our 250th room.
And what I like, too, about this room and about this trip in general is we spent a lot of time going back and forth, me and you, about 250. And should it be this place? Should it be that room? Should it be this state? Should it be whatever? And that's not how we started.
Right.
And all our best road trips were, you know what? Screw it. What are you doing tomorrow? Nothing? Let's pack up the Jeep and go.
This room sounds good. Let's go.
Yeah, and we spent so much time talking about it that it was like flipping a switch, and you were like, you know what? Let's just go.
That's exactly
we like them. They like us. Everything good. And it was an old school trip, like the first few that we've done, and it was perfect.
It really was. It worked out very well.
It worked out better than a lot of the ones that we've done that are planned out.
Yes.
All the way through.
Yes. Again, we did 5 rooms this trip in the one day. Got up early, drove out, did Escape Rhode Island, Ocean State, Escape Room Rhode Island, then back to Escape Rhode Island. That's a tongue twister right there.
Yeah. And again, it was the type of trip that we knew 3 rooms we were going to do.
Yep.
We didn't know if we were staying overnight. We didn't know if we were going to do 20 rooms or 3 rooms. It was, you do the 3rd room and you're like, well, what do you want to do? We could head home. We could eat. We could stay overnight. We could do whatever. And that's our original trips were all like that.
Right. And originally it was right before we did this room. Because we ate in between Rhode Island and this room.
Yes.
Right? We didn't eat between, or did we eat after this room? No, it was before this room because we were in the same next plaza over, right?
Yeah.
All right, so we ate before this room.
Shout out to Denny's.
Yeah, Denny's.
America's Diner.
And we were going to kind of just skip over the second part of Escape Rhode Island if we were able to get that 3rd person to come up.
Yep.
And we would have stayed over and finished the trip.
Yep.
Did more in the trip. But, so, that's what made us go back to Escape Rhode Island.
Yes.
So, this podcast isn't about Escape Rhode Island. It's about our 250th room, Mummy's Curse.
Ocean State, baby.
Ocean State Escape. OceanStateEscape.com. This room, I don't think I have... I have one complaint about the room, and we'll get to it in a little bit. But this room was immersive as hell.
Yes.
Probably one of the best pyramid rooms out there, even though it's supposed to be a museum.
Right.
Now, we had read this before, and it says here on the website, the sign by the coffin said, "Do not touch." But the security guard just couldn't resist. A 4,000-year-old mummy has awakened, and it's up to you to help them enter into the afterlife. Go ahead.
I love this room.
Yes.
I love everything about this room. That, what they have on their website, has nothing to do with the room.
You're right.
I didn't see a coffin unless I missed it. There was a you're right. There was a do not touch sign as part of one of the things, but it was part of what I would call a museum display.
You're right.
And not part of over a coffin.
Right.
I don't recall seeing a mummy in the room at all.
Right.
There was definitely a lot of Egyptian type stuff in there.
Oh, yeah.
And, the lights and the way that they did everything definitely had that cursed kind of feel to it.
Yes.
But I don't think that is an accurate description of the room.
I agree 100%. So we got into this room. We heard the whole spiel about it. The guy goes, "You want a quick clue or a quick hint?" Like, because we're looking around, just amazed at the work that this guy has done.
Yep.
And so we're like, "Yeah, we'll take the first step." Right there, points.
And a little hint, a little sidebar.
Yep.
If I've learned anything over 250 rooms, when the guy who built the room says, "Do you want to know where to start?" Listen to that guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Because we've done so many rooms where we've wasted 15 out of 60 minutes not knowing where to start.
Exactly.
So, and
Exactly.
we honestly probably would have done it here
Yes.
too.
Yes, definitely.
So when the guy that builds it says, "Do you want a quick hint on where to start?" Tell that man yes and thank you.
Yes. And it was 2 riddles, and they were awesome. They weren't extremely hard. They weren't easy.
Nope.
But it was perfect.
And they were written in a way that could trip you up.
The second one, anyway.
Yeah.
Yes. But
one of us got it right off the rip.
yeah, you did. You did.
It's like, try this in there.
Yep. And that was the whole thinking behind it.
Yep.
It was great. Moved on to...
And the way they wrote that was a great use of that kind of lock.
Yeah, because normally you don't use that part.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it was done very well. All the hidden compartments in this thing were done phenomenal.
Unbelievable.
You could not tell where a compartment was going to open.
Right.
You really couldn't. And again, props out to Daddy over there, to Dad, for figuring that out. And
I mean, we've
it was
both
great.
been in and around construction industries for quite a while. And the attention to detail that they put in, having the seams line up of doors and the walls and everything else, so you can't tell what's a door and what's a wall and what's going to open and what's not.
Right.
To the way that they have the sensors, to the way that they have tolerances.
Yeah.
Everything has been reworked down to the point that it's just perfect.
Yeah.
And they know what's not right. And they know what needs improvement. And they know what they're not happy with. And
that's what I like about this place, too. They're not going to put out a subpar product.
right.
Okay? A little side note. After the room, we're talking, and the guy showed. I didn't even notice it. The guy pointed it out, the old man, the father, about one thing. And I'm like, wow, I didn't even notice until you pointed it out to me. He goes, yep, I got to fix this.
Yep.
You know how many times I've taken that box apart? And I had to resolder because one little bump, the solder joint broke. He's there. He repairs everything.
Yep.
They keep everything pristine, really.
Yep.
They've been running this room for just under a year, and I didn't see any wear and tear in this place.
And we were lucky enough to be given a sneak peek when
Yes.
it was just 2x4s and
Yep.
you know,
It was just an empty room with a couple things inside. Yeah.
and to
Empty
see
walls.
what they did in that short amount of time is just unbelievable.
No, you're right.
And really, figuring out, I would assume, a lot of it on the fly.
Yeah.
I would assume that they had a general idea that they were working with and figured out quite a bit as they were just going along.
I agree.
And it's immersion wise. I mean, I would put them up against any bought room anywhere.
I would too. I think that if they were able to duplicate this room,
Yep.
they could sell this room to anybody,
Yep.
anywhere. I think it's
the little details in the room that
Yes.
get you.
right.
And you got me on this kick of walking in and looking up because you always look at the
Yeah, I
ceiling
always look
and
pretty
the
heating
heat
cool
and,
stuff,
and
yep.
this and that. Even in this room, the details in when you look up, everything is just unbelievable. That they thought of this and they thought of that, and it was great.
It really was.
It really was, and
I'm sorry, I'm trying to look up something while you were still talking. This room flowed very, very well. I enjoyed every aspect of it except for 2 puzzles. And I think it was more because of the lighting in the room than anything else.
yep, I would give you that.
Just a little bit of criticism. If you need to shine a flashlight on something, make it a bright flashlight. Not those cheap $2, $3 things you buy in bulk on Amazon. Other than that,
The only criticism I would have on this whole room, and what you're talking about didn't bother me all that much.
right.
It bothered you a lot more than it bothered me. It was a little bit, but is the puzzle right immediately before that one that we're working on, with the colors and finding out afterwards that I'm colorblind, trying to work with the colors in this puzzle with the lighting in the room and what you had to do and the way you had to manipulate where the pieces went wasn't the easiest thing.
No, you're 100% right.
And other than that, and I mean, we're really kind of getting nitpicky.
A little bit.
You know, I mean, we're talking about the amount of light you have to shine on something and, you know, the way the color bounces off of something.
Right. But it should have been.
Yeah.
I'm not colorblind, and the colors are hard to see.
Yeah.
But their use of black lights, their use of hidden messages was freaking phenomenal.
Best use of black light that I could think of in a while.
Yes. Yes, I agree 100%.
You know, it's how many rooms that you do that black light, the people that run the room think, oh, this is going to be a great wow factor with the black light. And it's just like a number written here, and here's a little black light pen that's not really a black light. It's just kind of an off-colored light, and you're looking at a smudge. And no, this room, the black light was a wow factor.
It was a wow factor, and
And
there's
it
no
was-
way in hell it could ever get smudged.
No, and it was done right. It was the right wavelength of light, the right kind of paint that they used, everything. There was no mistaking what was supposed to happen.
Exactly. All in all, like I said, game flow was really well. You thought the game master was a little heavy on the nudging at first.
Yeah,
And I think he did throttle it back a little bit.
yeah.
It wasn't the fact that we were almost there to solve it. It's almost like he was kind of just pushing us a little bit. A little extra than he should have been.
It might have been that the room's a little bit more on the linear side, and you had to do X before you did Y.
Yeah.
But it would seem like we would start a puzzle and we would be 3/4 of the way through it, and then bang, he'd come up on the thing. Well, what about this over here? You know, stop working on that one and start working on this one.
And we did say at the beginning, you know, if you see us going down the rabbit hole, nudge us. You know, hook us, pull us out.
Yeah.
And maybe that was his way of doing it.
Could be.
Because maybe I wasn't paying it. We weren't really paying attention to it. Who knows? All in all, he was a great game master. This room was done very well. I can't. Just the whole, where you use the flashlights and the puzzle right before it. It's probably the only puzzle I didn't like in this whole room.
Yep.
I thought this room was a great 250th room.
I did too.
I'm glad we didn't just go to any place.
Yep.
And just did rooms. Actually, I think that's how we ended up with our 150th room. I don't even think we even realized that we did 150
No, we didn't
rooms.
even realize it until we were like, oh.
I think it was New Jersey. We were in New Jersey. We did it. And
Yeah.
that's when we started doing we were just as many rooms as we can get done, as many rooms as we can get done, as many rooms as we can get done. I like this trip a lot better.
Yeah.
Just like our Rhode Island or our Long Island trip.
Yep.
Was perfect.
Yep.
We booked a couple here or there, and then we went, okay, what's open?
Yeah.
And it worked out mint.
Yep.
And I think that's the way we got to start doing our trips from now on. And
yeah,
whatnot.
you know what? We got away from doing that, and we started getting into everything had to be planned out, and it just doesn't work out. We travel a lot better not knowing what the hell we're doing.
We're better be free spirits than tied down.
We're better off just, we're going to start off here at the house, and we're going to end up at point B.
Right.
And we might stop along the way. We might go straight through. It might take us 2 days to get through. I don't know.
Right.
And when we're there, we might play every game in the place. We might play one and done.
Exactly.
And
Which
yeah.
actually we'll talk about that in the next podcast after this one.
Yeah. But no, again, I can't say enough about this place, and I hope everyone goes there. I hope everyone plays it. I hope everyone has the time to really get to know the people there, because they are nice people. They are enthusiasts themselves. They do play games. And they're real people that they had the same opinion we did on a lot of places in a lot of other games.
Yes.
And they're not like some owners you meet are kind of elitist almost, and thinking, well, we're owners and our games are the best and this and that. These people are real honest players.
They are definitely honest players.
And they,
Oh, yeah.
they're great. I love them. One more thing I want to say about the room too.
Yeah.
A lot of rooms that you play, you're put in the room and you're left alone, and the game master's there if you want hints. In this room, yes, the game master's there. You can get hints and this and that. They did have a clue system in the room that fit the theme 100%, that could help you through the entire game if you took a minute to sit there and flip through it.
Yeah.
A little bit. But it wasn't an in-your-face kind of thing.
No, it wasn't.
And it was something that it was kind of low-key. It didn't scream out the answer to you, but it nudged you along, gave you enough information that you could solve just about every puzzle in there.
You're right.
And I really appreciated having that book in that.
Right.
In that
And
thing.
that's what they were actually going to sub that out to somebody to build for them.
Yep.
And whoever was going to build it wanted an astronomical amount of money for it. And that's where the father's like, I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
And he did.
Yeah, it was great. I loved everything about it.
I did too. We've heard other people's reviews about it, and I can't agree with some of them. These guys at Ocean State are such nice people. And again, all our listeners out there, we are brutally honest.
Yes.
And that's another reason why we don't like to take free rooms.
Right.
We don't, on our end, we don't want to feel obligated that we have to give you a nice review.
Right.
If we didn't like the room.
Yep.
I'd rather pay full price and hate the room than get it for free and have to say, well, they did give it to us for free. So it was a good room and a lot.
As opposed to other places that
just,
hey, it's an expensive hobby and we would love to review it, but, if you could compost the room, and then you feel obligated to do it, and then they trash the room anyways.
Exactly.
You know, I mean, I
That's
don't
not
know.
us. And yeah, that's really. I'm tired of hearing that from a lot of places.
Yes.
We're hearing that more and more, and I'm getting tired of it because you know what? Yes, it is an expensive hobby, and it's a hobby you chose to do.
Yes.
You didn't have to keep doing it.
Yep.
And so it's one thing if the people actually reach out to you to come review their rooms
Yep.
and offer you the free room.
Yep.
It's another to ask for a free room.
Yes. And nothing else. You know what? Is it an expensive hobby? Yeah, we could attest to that. After 250 rooms, yes, it is an expensive hobby. We've sunk more money in than I want to think about between hotel rooms and gas and food.
Car
and
rentals.
airplane rides, everything. But if you're going to beg for something, don't beg for something that you're trying to make into this is your life.
Right.
This is what you're trying to make money off of. This is what you're trying to associate yourself with. This is how you want to be known in the industry as being big shots or whatever. You know, you want to be all that. That's fine. You got to pay your dues. And
Right.
part of paying your dues is actually paying for things.
Right. We could probably count on one hand how many comps we've ever gotten out of 250 games. Actually, 253 games. How many comps we have gotten, we could probably count on one hand.
And how many times have we heard, if you didn't book through and you talked to us, it's you guys. We would have gave you guys the room. And we said, no, you know what? You're in business.
Yes.
You're here to make money. You're not here to make me happy. You're here to make money when
Right.
it comes down to it.
Right.
And, you know, I would love it. We appreciate it. I appreciate you saying it. That's all I need is for you to say that,
Yep.
you know? And, you know, but no, we booked it and we did it the way you're supposed to do it. And, you know, don't go begging for things. I don't know.
Exactly.
Maybe it's me.
Exactly. I mean, didn't mean to go off on a tangent. And you may have even heard us on other podcasts as we talked about it. You know, we understand it's a business. That's why we want to pay for it. But would you rather make $60 or nothing?
Yep.
And most of the time they pick nothing. Okay,
Yep.
that's fine. Again, we understand it's a business. We
Yeah.
want to make money. That's why we don't, you know, you offer us one, we're going to argue back and forth. We're going to try to pay you something.
Yeah.
If you won't take it, we appreciate it.
Yep.
But it doesn't change our views on the room.
Yeah.
It will never change the views on our room. Just to put it out there. I know we just went off on this little tangent, but it's worth mentioning.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, I'm getting sick of hearing it from other escape owners and this and that.
Yep.
That, you know, it is what it is. I'll never mention their names on our podcast. It's be like swearing a lot, you know. And take what you want from it. Anyway, Mummy's Curse, 250 rooms. Phenomenal room.
Unbelievable.
Phenomenal room. I personally think you guys should model that room and ship it out. Ship it up to Boston. Other than that, OceanStateEscape.com. Also check out their other rooms. Nona's house, phenomenal escape room.
Yeah.
That is, we did do that on the channel. I was looking it up, and actually to go back to the previous episode of Rhode Island Escape, we actually did that in 2019.
Okay.
I just found the video. So we actually did it in 2019. So it was almost 3 years ago we did it. And then this was the second Rhode Island trip, which is up here somewhere. Or was this when we first started doing... Aha! This is when we first started doing podcasts, I bet.
Could be.
I think so. Could be. I could be wrong, too. But anyway. Again, they have Nona's house.
They have one of the best Christmas rooms.
Yeah, the Mischief itself. Yeah. That was really done. That was done really well. And for some reason on their website they have Winter Wonderwoods Winter Mini Escape for a half hour.
It's still not done yet.
It's still not done yet. Yeah.
And they're trying to get it up.
And they're probably only keeping it until March, I think.
Yeah.
Because it's actually one of the rooms of their newer game that they're working on.
Yep.
So
they're trying to keep it. They're trying to get it up for,
for the Christmas time.
as much of December as possible. I know we're already a week into it.
Which I was actually looking forward to this game. I wanted to try it, but it's just not ready. And it is what it is. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
Making an escape room is not an easy thing to do.
No.
Anyway, again, Ocean State Escape, shout out to them. Thank you for being our 250th room. So,
thank you for hanging out with us, talking with us.
Yeah, we were talking, and that's why we didn't get the podcast. We just talked. The next thing we know, it was time to go, and the podcast didn't even dawn on us. And that's usually what happens to us a lot.
Yes.
But it is what it is. We'll definitely get you guys on a future podcast. And thank you for agreeing to be on the podcast too.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
You know what, too? Not only thank you for agreeing to be on it, and it might sound stupid, thank you for remembering who we are.
Yeah.
I mean, we are two guys that, we've done a few games, more than a few. We've been, up and down the coast doing it. And everyone not everyone that we do, but most of the ones we do, I try to contact them and this and that. And a majority of the people, oh yeah, how could I forget you guys? And
yeah, and it's not like we have a huge presence in this kind of community.
Right. It's just we have a little following and people like us, and we appreciate that people like when we come out, and I think people get what we do, and I think they appreciate the way we do it.
Right.
And I just want to say thanks for that.
Yeah.
Feels good.
It does. It really does. Again, this is going to be our 50th podcast episode.
Yeah.
And it's our 250th room. So, again, thank you to Ocean State Escapes. OceanStateEscape.com. Follow us on Facebook, DIU Escape Crew. That's Crue spelt like Motley Crue.
CRUE.
And check out DIUEscapeCrew.com, and you get all the swag, man. Anything you want.
Get the new Scully sweatshirt. New Scully design shirt.
Yeah, new Scully design shirt, and then there's a double shirt. There's a double printed one. There's a lot of new stuff going up there. The website will be updated soon. You want to know what companies we've done? If they're still in business, go to DIUEscapeCrew.com, click on companies we've done. If there's a link there, they're still open.
Yep. As a matter of fact, I think it was Escape Rhode Island that said, "Hey, thanks for having a link on our site up there from the last time you guys were here."
You're right.
We appreciate it and this and that. And that's what we're all about. We're all about spreading the news, getting everyone's name out there.
Right.
The better you guys do, the better we're going to do, the better everyone's going to do.
Right. And then actually we'll talk a little bit about that on our next episode.
Yeah, a little preview there.
Yeah, a little preview. So with that said, if anybody would like to be a guest, contact us through Facebook, please. We do have an email, but I'm not going to put it out there because the email title has nothing to do with our title anymore.
No.
So go to Facebook, DIU Escape Crew. Send us a message right through there. It goes right to my phone. Chances are you're going to be talking to me. We're always looking for travel buddies now. Because a lot of these rooms, yes, we're starting to realize that you need more than 2 people to do these rooms.
Yeah.
So if anybody in the New England East Coast area wants to travel or wants to do a couple rooms with us, hit us up.
Yeah.
Hit us up, DIU Escape Crew. As much as me and Phil like doing these rooms together, it doesn't hurt to have a third mind in this thing or a fourth mind in this thing. And the rest of the plug-and-play players of the DIU Escape Crew really don't leave the damn state.
No, I mean, everyone got their own life going on and their
Right.
own things that they're doing.
So we're trying to
Shout out to
expand.
Becca and Dakota and Lee and
Gary,
and
Steph,
OG Steph,
OG Steph,
original gamer.
Little Phil,
Yep.
Dick Rickley.
Dick Rickley.
But yeah. So if anybody wants to do rooms with us, let us know. We're more than happy to do them as long as we haven't done the room already.
Yeah.
If you want us to review your room or check out your rooms, hit us up.
Yeah.
We are willing to pay full price.
We are willing to travel.
Yeah, willing to travel too, within reason. So anyway, again, thanks for listening. Thank you for supporting. Happy 250th room, man.
And happy 50th podcast.
Happy 50th podcast too. Yeah. So that's Phil.
That's Dom.
Hey, you'll hear us on episode 51.
Peace out.